legalization of marijuana, once we knew that that was coming, it meant a real push to do education, because we don't, our intent is not to write a lot of tickets, to get a lot of people in trouble. Our intent is that we follow the guidelines of what the people of the state of Colorado have said they wanted, and we want everyone, whether they're using or not using, to have a great time when they're here in Breckenridge. So we want people to follow the rules. We have on our police department website an FAQ sheet and guidelines for what people can and can't do. And our marijuana compliance officer has worked with our establishments on point of sale information.
I worked with the dispensaries, and one of the things that we did with them was on their receipts, they're actually printing out a lot of our frequently asked questions and kind of a do's and don'ts with marijuana, so that their customers are aware of the issues. And all the dispensaries have signs, and the bud tenders actually do speak to their customers about, how to go about using marijuana if they're not familiar with it, or how to be careful with the edibles and concentrates and things like that.
One of the major things with marijuana is that you can't consume in public. And public in town is any public space, public right-of-way, on the roadway. The other piece that we talked to lodging a lot about was what they were going to allow on their properties. And so there are some properties where they will allow it in their units, and they'll allow it on their balconies or porches. And then there are some properties that don't allow it at all, or only allow it on a balcony. So we always tell guests it's best to check with their lodging company to find out what the rules are. I think for me, the most important piece of information to get out to folks on both sides, for the folks that are using, is, these are the rules, and we want you to have a good time when you're here, but we want you to follow the rules. And for the folks who aren't using, that this is not a mecca for marijuana use, that we don't have people walking down the street smoking, we don't have people in parks smoking. There's been no noticeable increase in people using on the mountain. And I think it's important for those folks, because there's a large percentage of visitors that aren't interested in getting intoxicated, whether by alcohol or drugs, to know that they're still coming to the same Breckenridge they've always come to in the past.